Hey guys, Brian Rogers here with Good Sit Mobile. Really excited to finally be able to launch these products and tell people about what I've been working on for the past couple months here. What I came up with, I've had this idea in my mind for a long time, is the one and done elevated cam system. It's a 3-part system that all kind of works together. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a demonstration here and kind of give you a how-to on how all this stuff works. So first and foremost, we have the screw stick. It's 2 pieces. It's the body and then it's the screw. This is replacing wedging a stick or screwing something in. This is 100% public land legal. It has a blunt tip on it, so it's not gonna dig in, it's not gonna pierce the bark of the tree. It's also universal, so it's made to fit most trail cameras, if not all. We designed this to go on the back of the rails of the trail camera. That way it's not hindering your attachment method. It also has 7 different ports that run all the way through the body of this right here. And then you have 8 ports that actually attach to those ports. So if you want, you can run all the way through, or you can run at your 4 corners or wherever you choose to put it. I've even put it on 4 corners and then ran one all the way through the middle just to make sure that it's good and solid, and zip ties don't cost a whole lot. And actually you get 4 12-inch zip ties included whenever you buy one. One of the other benefits of this, besides the main benefit, is it's actually a way where you can store your rope and keep everything nice and clean. So you can store your strap or your rope, wrap it around your unit here, and it keeps everything nice and clean in your pack. If you purchase the Paracord cord setup, so if you purchase that, you will get a hair tie on the end. That makes it to where you no longer have to tie a knot at the end of your setup. So I can just wrap that guy around and wrap it on top. When I want to deploy it, I just take it off. No more sitting there fiddling with weird knots and then having to, when you go to check your camera, you're sitting there messing with knots so that you can get into your compartment. It just makes life a lot easier. Now, we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna pull that through. We're gonna loosen our prusik here. Prusik is attached to our Paracord, and we're gonna go ahead and pull it out. You have a prusik made of 95 Paracord. That's your attachment method. That slides up and down the Paracord, and then it hooks into the Paracord right there. We're gonna go ahead and unwrap our Paracord, and we're gonna look at the tree just like you would with your cam strap or your cam buckle, just like you would with your tether. You're gonna try and get pretty close with your prusik to where you think it's gonna be easy to handle once you get it around the tree. Once you get that sucker around the tree and you're pretty close, you're always gonna want to adjust the pitch before you put it up there too, just to make sure that you're close to where you want it. Once you get it around the tree, you take your prusik, you're gonna take your Paracord, you're gonna pop it into your Paracord, and then that knot acts to keep it inside of it while you're fiddling with it. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna tighten your Paracord and your prusik, get it nice and set there. I always tie an overhand knot here. I tie a regular granny knot and an overhand knot just a little bit above it. Gives you something to hold on to pull the knot out of the Paracord, kind of like a handle. And it also works as a prusik tender. So I take and I run that Paracord through the tender, and then I have a little hair tie, a little small hair tie that I've wrapped around there, and I push it up on there. Now that's gonna lock it onto your 550 cord. You're gonna push it right up to your prusik, and then now, if you need to loosen it or tighten it, say I need to loosen it, and then one-handed, I grab a hold of my rope over here, I can tighten it with that tender. It's not necessary, but it is really nice if you're in kind of a weird situation especially, but just having that one-handed operation, just like any other time you're using your lineman's or something like that, is really nice. Once I get it set, I think it's close to where I want it, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull out my spot-on laser leveling system. What we have here is a castration band on top of a little 3D printed container. It actually holds a little pet laser pointer. And the reason that I went with the cheaper little pet laser pointer is because you can find them at any Walmart, any pet store. They're very cheap, inexpensive. So if you lose them in the woods, if it runs out of batteries, gets broke, gets stomped on, you can go spend $3 and get 2 of these things. Keep a couple of them in your pack. The batteries are very inexpensive. So that's why I designed it around that type of laser pointer. You have the castration band on there, which you flip it over, keeps it on, you flip it off, it goes off. It's very simple, not a lot of, you know, crazy moving parts. And then you also have your attachment method. So you have 3 different ways that you can attach the spot-on laser leveling unit. You have 2 parabiners that are attached. One's on a Prusik, so that's the sliding, the Prusik, the friction knot. The other is tied in over here. So you're gonna take your one side, attach it to your paracord, and then you're gonna take your other side and you're going to attach it to your paracord. Fits perfectly flush over every single camera that I've ever tried it on. I'm sure there might be a camera out there that it doesn't, but in the event that it doesn't, you can always just grab it and hold it up to it with it on. So you have 3 different options here. One is putting it on here, one is holding it without the attachment method on, and then you have a third option for weird shaped cameras. So when you're done, you pop that sucker off. You're gonna wanna lengthen your parabiner out, because you're gonna wanna take one of your parabiners, run it through the back, and then you're going to pop that sucker on to itself, and now it fits flush over it. So you have 3 different ways. You can hold it up to it, which is what I do a lot of times. A lot of times I'm up there, I'm on a weird tree, I've got it set, but I wanna check it one more time. I don't even hook it up to the paracord. A lot of times I'll just turn it on, hold it flush against the lens, and then see where I'm at. Make sure that I'm still on, and then just make a little micro adjustment from there. But when you are starting out and you're not exactly sure where it's at, you're always gonna wanna get it good and mounted while you're messing with your screw stick. And once you have this on here and you see exactly where it's at and you see if it needs to go up or down, that's when you start your adjustment. As you screw out on the screw stick, you're actually tightening on your paracord. So you're locking it in, ensuring that squirrels, raccoons, birds, anything that's gonna climb down on here, once you get it good and tight, you can wiggle that. It's not going anywhere. Stuff can get on top of that, okay? So if you have squirrels, raccoons, birds, they're not gonna knock it off like they would other options that are available on the market today. Another huge benefit to this system is the bubble level. Generally, as I'm getting it set, I will look as I'm setting it, as I'm screwing it, just making sure that I'm staying up and down. This is especially crucial on weird shaped trees, on odd leaning trees where you think that you're straightening it out. You get down, go check it, and it's at an angle. That not only screws up your pictures and make them a little off, which wouldn't be the end of the world if you still got the data, but it also messes with the way that the sensors pick up the movement. And so if you're angled down and you have a specific spot in mind, and now you are cockeyed and your sensors aren't picking up on half of that spot where they need to, you're gonna get late triggers, and then you're just gonna get the tail end of deer a lot of the time. And that is not what we want, which is why you check your level, make sure it's in line with your screw stick. So it's gonna go either one side or the other depending on the pitch, but you're always gonna be able to see, is it in line with that screw stick? That's how you know you're straight up and down. Now, once you're set, once you are exactly where you know you like it, you're gonna just pop the castration band that way. You're gonna grab the handle here on the shock cord of your spot-on laser leveling unit, and then you're gonna pop that sucker off. Now, if you're out in a hunting situation, usually what I would probably do if I was just gonna go up and check the camera is I would check it, and then once I went to reset it, because since I know it's pretty much set correctly, I would probably just grab it like I talked about before, pop that sucker on, see where it's at, move it around just a little bit, and then go back to hunting. And while you're going up the tree, what I like to do is I like to put it right here. My mic's in the way right now, but I like to put the parabiner right there. Easily, you're just going up one stick. I will take it, grab it off, and then I have it at my disposal. You can hook it to itself, you can go through molly loops, you can throw it in your pack. It's very lightweight and very easy to use. In the event that you need to change out your laser pointer pin, you simply slide this over. You slide your castration band past the button, and all you do is you take this little knot here, you pop it out, quick knot comes out, then this pops out, and now slides straight out the back. So very easy. You actually have 2 points that are keeping it in, both your castration band and your cord actually runs through the center there and keeps it in. And then when you need to put it back in, push your button down, slide it through, and then you put your castration band behind it. And now you're just gonna run your shock cord right back through there. You're gonna run your shock cord through the parabiner, retie your knot, good and tight, little loop in it, stays out of the way, and now you're back and ready to rock. So hopefully you guys can see the benefit here. I've developed a system that basically cuts the time in half of hanging an elevated set, which is huge. You're gonna get to hang more cams in less amount of time. You're gonna get to scout more, you're gonna get more intel overall, and it's gonna highly increase your chances of running into Mr. Big this fall. Look for us at www.goodsitmobile.com.